Hey guys, my name is Dresean, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about something completely different that I never speak about, and that is a career as a security guard. Now, if you're new to my channel, I used to be a security guard and I transitioned from a security guard to something called a search engine optimization specialist. And I'll get more into what that is at the end of the video, but first I want to kind of talk about the pros and the cons of being a security guard. So the pros is that as a security guard, you're sitting majority of the time, you're sitting at a desk, especially if you are an unarmed security guard, and as a result of that, because you're sitting at a desk, and you don't really have much to do except for monitor, what's going on by looking at the CCTVs and also creating reports. Your job is never going to be that stressful or that hard, okay? And especially if you work overnights. If you work overnights, it's never going to be too stressful or too hard. The hardest thing that, you're going to find yourself trying to do is stay awake. But if you take video games, books, or anything like that to work, it's easy for you to study and you can stay up. So that's one thing. When you're a security guard, you have a lot of time on your hands and you have a lot of time to study and use that time effectively. The problem is most people don't. Most people go to work and they watch Netflix or they do something that's not really productive. And as a result of this, when you're sitting at work and watching Netflix all day, or when you're just sitting at work, all day doing nothing, first off, you run out of Netflix shows to watch, you run out of things to watch on YouTube, and you're not expanding your education or your mind. And so you start to realize this. It starts to affect you later on in life, okay? And you'll never truly realize it if you just continue to work a security job. But if you make a transition into a different career, you will realize this. And so that is one. So that's the pros and some of the cons, okay? But just to highlight them, to go back, you have a lot of time, so it doesn't really feel like you are stressed out, right? And for the most part, no one's really going to bother you. But some of the cons that I also should add in, right? Aside, so those are the pros. And then the cons I should add in is that you're going to get paid not that much, okay? You're never going to make six figures from a security job. Maybe if you start your own business, but in New York, that's never going to happen. People aren't really going to respect you. When you're a security guard, a lot of people tend to, especially because you have to take IDs and there's all these protocols that you have to follow, people tend to get pissed off with that stuff and they tend to call you names like a rent-a-cop or, all these different unnecessary things that I've been called in the past. People don't fully understand what you do, so because they don't understand what you do, it's going to be hard to to show that you're not trying to be mean to them, but you're just following standard operation procedure, and they're not going to get it, okay? And also the quality of people that you're going to surround yourself with is not going to be a lot of high quality people. And the reason why I say that is because, again, most people who do security, they're just doing it every single day. Now, there are going to be some smart people, but a lot of them are not really that keen. And that's no disrespect. I was a security guard myself, but I've learned this from working with a lot of these people, okay? There's really no opportunities for growth. If you start as a security guard, the highest that you will go to is a supervisor of security, and that is not going to pay you a lot. That's going to be a pay raise from about $12 an hour to about $15 an hour, which is good if you're a high school student, but if you have a family and you need to support people, it's not going to be good, okay? And the only way, now, one thing I'll say is that, and this is one pro that I forgot to mention, one pro that I'll mention is that there is a lot of overtime. You can make a lot more money by working overtime. The problem is that you're gonna have to spend a lot more hours. In my situation, when I was a security guard, I was working 16 hours per day, okay, at $12 an hour. So you can do the math and add that up and see how much that comes to. That's how much I was making. But all in all, to have to work 16 hours to make such a little bit of money and have to work every single day, it's really not beneficial to you. Now, if you become an armed security guard, you can make more money, but the chances of you becoming an armed security guard, unless you've been a cop in the past, is extremely low. It's really hard to get that, to get the license to do that, and on top of that, you can't even utilize your weapon to defend yourself without having to worry about getting in trouble. So if somebody were to attack you and you were to retaliate by shooting them, you would be in more harm's way from, a legal perspective as opposed to someone who's a cop or someone who is in the military. And if you want to have that type of authority and be able to ensure that you can't get in trouble for doing your job, then just become a cop, okay? But if you're going to be an armed security guard, that is a tough job, and I would not recommend it for anyone unless you're going to be doing like some type of personal bodyguard type of thing. That being said, and even if, here's another con. Because I've worked in security for so long, I kind of understand a little bit about the business, right? And even if you were to become a bodyguard through your company, the company is going to make all of the money off of you, okay? So let's say somebody's paying them about $400 an hour for bodyguard services. They're only going to pay you $12 an hour, right? And, that is not good, okay? That's not good at all. So I don't recommend this career. Instead, like I mentioned earlier, I am a search engine optimization manager, and what that is I help businesses, small businesses, large businesses, get customers to their website, or potential customers, which is known as leads, right? So I help them by understanding how to do something called ranking on Google, okay? So I understand how to rank their specific business on Google. So what is ranking? Whenever you go on Google and you type in a specific thing that you're looking for, let's say you're looking for, security guard ties. You type it in, you're going to see ads, and then you're going to see organic listings, okay? And those organic listings that's popping up at the top, if one of them appeals to you, you're going to click on it. And so that is the SEO who's getting that stuff to show at the top of Google and helping that business to get you to their website so that you can purchase a tie from them, okay? You're probably going to read an article about all the best ties that they have, the quality, why it's top notch, why it's better than all of the other ties on the market. And then it's going to help you to make a informed decision on whether or not you're going to purchase this tie, which is going to impact the revenue of the business positively if you decide to purchase. And so this skill is something that is highly needed today. And if you are a security guard, right, another thing is you don't need a college degree to do this. And if you are a security guard, then you have all of the time in the world. There's a bunch of courses out there that you can take. And so I would definitely recommend you to start studying digital marketing. Now, I'm going to leave a link to the course that I took when I was a security guard that helped me to get exposed to digital marketing, which then led me on the path and the journey that I am on today. And if you are interested, then I would definitely recommend for you to check it out, especially if you're young. If you're 18, check it out. If you don't want to go to school because you feel like you don't want to pay for the college tuition, I fully understand you, and I definitely suggest that you check this course out. That being said, Thanks a lot for watching this video, and if this was helpful for you, please let me know, and I will try to make more videos about being a security guard and how you can transition into a different career. And that's it. Peace.